So the fundamental problem with talented heroes is that, oh, Shriek Razors, you getting in the way of what I want to say, yeah. The fundamental problem with talented heroes is that they have a larger card pool than their untalented friends. But is just not printing talented heroes the solution? You are watching a 99.5% unfiltered conversation about talents in Flesh and Blood. Woof. Of course, we're going to be editing out some of the really terrible mistakes where I throw cards everywhere, I drop things. But we're just going to talk about talents because I love talents. I love them. I love the talent system in Flesh and Blood. I was so excited when they came out in Monarch, and then Tales of Aria just upped it up a whole nother notch for me. And then now we've come into the season where talents, they're just not around as much. They've kind of been pushed off to the side because of how powerful they've come to be. Sorry, the filter got there just a little bit. So recently there's been a lot of love out there. A lot of love from people excited that all these old talented heroes have just kind of disappeared off into the living legend Grey Haven place, wherever they go. I don't know, where do they go when you become a living legend? Like you just legend yourself out, you go to the party place where you don't have to fight anymore? Like, is it like the Hall of Fame kind of, but you're still not, like, you're not there because you can't do it anymore, you're just there because I don't know. What does it work? Anyways, the point is that, so we've got this really cool talent system in Flesh and Blood, and lately in recent sets, they've been printing a lot of cards that don't have talents, right? They've printed a lot of untalented cards. You can go back, we have Dynasty. Dynasty is not a talent set, though it did have a couple little things in there, but overall, not much. Not much for talents. You have Outsiders, which is not for talents. Don't do that. Don't touch it. No talents around here. Then you have, what do we have after that? We did have Dusk Till Dawn. So Dusk Till Dawn, of course, did have talents. We got the Light and Shadow back. And even then, it's kind of like bringing back some old heroes that disappeared and, you know, trying to give a boost to the couple of heroes. There were a couple, believe it or not, talented of the original 7 talented heroes. There were 2 that just couldn't quite get there, right? They didn't quite get there, so they tried to give them a little bit more of a boost, and they still haven't quite got there. So we got those ones. And then you come back to Bright Lights, of course, here, where there's nobody's talented around here. And then what's coming up in our next set? We got Heavy Hitters, and as far as I can tell, not seeing a whole lot of talents on the horizon for that. So there's this big jump away from talents, right? Before we had Monarch, Tales, then you had Everfest, which was kind of your standard, we got to help everybody out, so they didn't really play with talents a whole lot there, but you still had some, right? You had Bravo, who of course he really highlights the big problem. But then after that, right, you had Uprising, more talents. And so yeah, going back to Bravo, like the problem for Bravo, right, is he's got star of the show, right, that Bravo, he's got access to so many cards. So many cards. When you give him all those abilities, like he could just grab anything, do anything. And of course, when you do that, there's bound to be some problems with how things interact, right? That's just how it works. And of course, you give him a nice ability, and then boom. Boom, boom, Terminator Tank Extended Art. Let's finish out that pack. Beautiful. And so it seems like kind of the solution that we've been working on for this whole problem, the problem of the talented heroes, is more so just to not make more of them, or not print too many cards for them, and to be instead focusing on making a bunch of other non-talented heroes, right? Again, we did get a new Prism, and we got a Vin set, but other than that, like if you look at it, there's a lot more new non-talented heroes than there have been new talented heroes. And so I just kind of wonder, is that really fixing the problem? Especially if the ultimate problem is that, again, these heroes, they have access to more cards. Now, in this case, for some of them, maybe Ice, you know, you might say Ice itself is just too powerful of an ability. you know, you could go down that road, I guess, with other things too and say, well, is X too powerful of ability to have, or this too powerful? Ice is maybe kind of the biggest one who infringes upon your rights to play the cards in your game. But when you're just printing more and more cards, for example, like this, you do a whole mechanologist set. Now, I don't know if there's ever going to be a talented mechanologist, or if that's like, you know, not allowed because of all the technology and stuff they use here. They don't really have talents, they just have tech. I don't know, Cogworks, Space Chest. But if that's the case, let's say they do come out with a talented mechanologist at some point. Right now, they just have even this much more of a card pool. They have this much more of a card pool than what would have happened if you just printed some, you know, talented ones. And so I wonder, I'm really interested to know what is going on there over at LSS, because obviously they're working on it. Obviously they're thinking about it, they're doing something. I really don't think, I really hope not, they're not just kind of trying to avoid talents as much as possible and kind of let them slowly slip away, in a sense. I really hope they would never do that, because talents are so cool. They're so much fun. They make the game so exciting. I remember people thinking about, you know, when Tales of Aria came out, there was so much, obviously, excitement about the cards that came out, but there was also so much excitement about, oh my goodness, I can't wait till my class gets a lightning character. My class gets an earth character. My class gets an ice, whatever it was, like, or a light or a shadow. Like, there was so much excitement about that. And then, you know, we did get Draconic, Steel, Street, Hoons, Rainbow Foil. Check it off the list. We're going to do this. You know, even since Uprising, I've had a little bit like, okay, what's the next Draconic character that's going to come out? Or then it's like, what's the next new talent going to be? And, you know, again, unfiltered. So we might be hopping around a little bit here. We might be hopping back and forth, but it's, yeah, you don't want to do it all at the same time, right? You wouldn't want to print, well, here's your 10 Draconic heroes, and you're not going to get another one for 10 years. Like, obviously, you want to spread things out a little bit. You want to keep the excitement going, the excitement coming. What's going to be next? I know we like to do that around here. But you also don't want to wait so long, right? You don't want to wait so long where it's like, oh, I don't really care about lightning anymore, or don't really care about whatever. Kind of like, oh, that was an old thing. I don't know, you got to bring something out, something new. And so every new set I see like this, I'm thinking of heavy hitters too, it's like, as you add cards into that, it helps, you're adding these generic cards, depending of course on how they're designed, but it really can kind of then just help all the brute characters, all the whatever characters. I'm trying to think of ones that actually have one of each, like all the ninja characters, all the, you know, who knows what. You don't want to print, you don't want to, I mean, but if you print a non-talented illusionist hero now, then of course that's just going to boost up, it could, and I don't want to say just, but it'll probably boost up some of the older illusionists as well, the talented ones. And so I just wonder if, I mean, the other way you can do it too is you can try and make the talents, you start to make the talents or the abilities on them so weak is not the word I want to say, but so much kind of like the same as everything else even, or maybe you got to just lower the power level on the hero because they're a talented hero, or I don't know, you start to do things to try and make the talents not too powerful, and you have to, as long as the majority or even the significant amount of the heroes you're printing are not talented. So instead of trying to print more talented heroes that can then interact with all the other talented heroes that have bigger card pools, and then there's just more heroes who have bigger card pools, Smashing Performance, third foil, and the last two videos of this one, wow. You just, in some way, at least to me, it kind of feels like you're making the talent problem just extend longer, extend bigger. Now, again, of course, you can create talents with totally brand new hero types, and then that doesn't mess anything up. Tome of Imperial Flame, here's a couple good boxes. You know, if, for example, all the illusionists have talents, then, well, you can make the illusionist level kind of on par with that. There's no non-talented illusionist that you got to worry about not being able to keep up. So there's kind of two different ways you can look at talented versus non-talented heroes and trying to balance them out. Oh, there's something back here. There's something back here. It's a warband of Bologna. And here's one of those things where it just doesn't do, it's kind of funny. It just doesn't do quite enough to get that old light warrior going. It's just not quite enough. We'll get there. He's going to get there someday, Bolton. You just wait. Yeah, just wait. We're going to get there. We got a brand new set coming up with a bunch of hero cards, warrior cards. And again, he's got a talent. Doesn't matter if the hero warrior cards work with him. Boom. He's going to get that bonus as well as all of those non-talented heroes. So you can either be working on making your non-talented heroes kind of come up and match par with the talented ones, or you can try and bring the talented ones down, or you can just be trying to print more talented heroes that kind of fit with that level. And then you can spend, you can still spend time on putting lots of kind of specialization cards they're doing. You can see that with heavy hitters. We got some new Arachne fun coming out, trying to bring Arachne up from the depths. But yeah, so first new hero assassin there, you get it. You get a couple untalented versions. I don't know. Imagine that you get a talented assassin. It's fun, right? I think that could be fun. It'd be really fun. I hope they get there someday. Again, I really hope that talents are not just being kind of slowly dying. We get these little tiny draconic cards here and there. I don't know. I want to see them come back. And I know it's all part of this kind of reset where we're trying to get competitive play and heroes to kind of have a more even field. There's always going to be something that's the best and always something that's the worst. But they're trying to get out some of the big offenders, the really big offenders. And man, I really hope those gears are grinding for how to make talents come back really just in a good, powerful, big way in 2024. Because the talent, theme-wise, it does so much for the game. It really just makes the game so much more interesting and exciting. And even just thinking about your own collection, sure, you can play in a Living Legend event now, that kind of stuff's going to happen. But you look at your card pool then from Tales of Aria with nothing, there's nothing really you can do with stuff from that now. Icelander be gone at some point here in the big one. There's just, what do? There's not a whole lot you could do with those cards, and so they just kind of sit there, and it's kind of sad. And we need some lightning. We need some lightning. We need some earth. We need some stuff that works and that's fun. And there's got to be a way to make it work. There's got to be a way to throw it in that collider. Come on out. If we can, if you can make a hero like Teklevasan with a Mechropotent that doesn't totally ruin the game, you're turning into a robot thing. You turn it into Iron Man. If we can do that, there's got to be a way that we can make some of these talents work. There's got to be a way. I feel like it can be done. When there's a will, there's a way. I'm sure it takes way more difficult, though, to design, of course, because you create an ice card and it goes in all the ice heroes, right? All that jazz. But again, I'm just a little nervous is not the right word, but it makes me pause and think, if we're going to keep going down this untalented road so far with so many new ones, the next time a talent comes out, is it either going to be so weak that it just doesn't do much? Or again, it just kind of feels like an untalented hero with something slapped on the side? Or is it, a talent slapped on it? Or is it going to be so powerful because it just has, again, that bigger card pool that it just starts to rock stuff? I don't know. I don't know. Of course, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what's coming up next. It would be cool to know, but I'm excited. I'm excited for some fresh cards coming up. Hopefully, maybe even in that expansion slot, they can do some wild things. They could smash performance. So many of those. They could You know, I think it'd be fun. They did something really sneaky. They just snuck in like a talented hero. You sneak a talented hero right in that expansion slot. I am all about really awesome, random, weird, powerful, exciting things hitting in that expansion slot. Make use of it. Have a good time with that. Throw me some wild heroes in there, stuff like that. Stuff that people don't even know it's going to be in there. Wouldn't that be fun? Nobody knows that there's a new hero in that expansion slot that's talented with something, and then it's just like people start to find it in their pre-release and stuff. Like, oh my goodness, wouldn't that be exciting? That'd be super fun. Anyways, random idea. And some of you are probably thinking, why is he talking about talents and opening up evil energy matrices at the same time? Why are you opening bright lights? Well, that of course is because this is part of Master Set Madness and we're trying to complete a set. And we did get those hoons. And the second reason is, well, you know, I need some extra cards on my website for sale because I sold way too many bright light stuff already. So this is going to be replenishing that. Everything you see here, you will be able to purchase on mastersetmadness.com. You can check it out over there. And of course, that's just unfiltered mostly. So we'll leave all those of courses in. But every purchase between now and when Heavy Hitters comes out, where we find out if there's any sneaky stuff in that expansion slot, if they don't spoil it all in advance, every order that you do there, that is, not every order, every $10 you spend there, whether it's in one order or 3 orders or 50 orders, however you like to do it, every $10 you spend on mastersetmadness.com gets an entry into a drawing for a free box of Heavy Hitters, where hopefully you find that Marvel Kasai. So again, for that, I need to get some more cards on the site. So we're filling it up here with bright light cards. I still need more. So if you're looking to sell a set, sell a collection, sell part of a collection, or do some trading up, I'll give you a better percentage on trades for Master Set Madness credit at the store. Send me an email, mastersetmadness@gmail.com, with some pictures, prices, all the fun, nicest Steel Street enforcement. Check it off the list. We got both the Steel Street foils in the same case. Oof, progress. This is real progress. We're getting close. We're down to like 7 cards. Man, yes, if you want to sell something, send me an email and we'll talk about it. I do buy collections. I buy smaller collections too, but nothing too crazy small on that. That's what we got. We got half a box left here of our non-talented set. And man, I do hope that they come back very, very soon. Let me know what you think about talents. Do you miss them? Do you want to see more of them? Do you think that they're going to bring back more of them? Or are you totally okay kind of with what they're doing right now, where talents are, you know, they do come out sometimes. They have some Dust Till Dawn. But overall, talents are not the driving force. It is not a Monarch, Tales of Aria, little bit break with Everfest, and then you get Uprising, talent. Like, that is not at all what we're doing now. We've done a 180 where talents are the opposite. And let me know how you feel. Let me know if you like that, you don't like that. You'd rather have more talents all over the place. I personally kind of lean more towards the talent side, but I do get they're trying to rein things in. I'm just really curious. Again, concern's not the right word. Curious, interested to see how they're going to make that work when they do start popping talents out more and more. Right? Because, yeah, you get some talented stuff with Vincent and Prism, and, you know, maybe we just haven't figured out Prism quite yet, which would be cool. But otherwise, they haven't made a big splash. And so, I don't know. Maybe they were supposed to make a bigger splash than they have. But that's kind of all we've really had for talents so far lately. Evil Steel Soul Memory. 2 packs left here. Thanks again for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, right down there, that War Machine. What talent should War Machine have? Put that in the comments. Let me know if he should be lightning? Should he be fire? Should he be steel talented? I don't know. What a rock, ground, whatever type of fun thing you can think of. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Thanks to those of you who support the channel through Patreon. You make Master Set Madness happen. So if you like this, again, don't get lost in the minefield. Hit that like button down there. Hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.